True Crime Alert family. I was just going over a few things in the Lori Vallow case, and I started noticing that her archangel brother Alex, the murderer, has got a lot of similarities with, believe it or not, Dexter. Because he believes he can figure out who's light and dark and just do away with the dark. And isn't that kind of just what Dexter does? About the same thing. You know, he's got Mr. Dark Passenger, and I think Alex has got Mr. Dark Passenger too. And his name is Chad Daybell. And talk about these two scare the unholy bejesus out of me. Because if you've seen either one of these doofies on the street, you would not think that they could harm anyone. I mean, you wouldn't even believe the raccoon story that Chad spews out. But they are both very, very dangerous. I think they're both murderers. Of course, Chad gets to pick who the good and bad is. But then I think Alex helped him do them in. And then helped him dispose of the bodies. Now, Alex did a lot of this on his own. As in Lori Vallow's ex-husband, Charles. We know Alex did that by himself. But a little recap for people that's never heard of Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell. Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell. My dog, he's wanting in. Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell were married to other people. They met each other and fell in love over religious beliefs was their connection. Chad Daybell believed he could tell you who was a zombie and not. And Lori Vallow thinks she's God. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. But when these two no-good goofies got together, death started happening. And I think it started happening to a lot of good people around them that didn't deserve it. Well, you know they didn't deserve it. I mean, these are including kids. So let's take another look at Alex here together, shall we?
Elmer Fudd, Daffy Duck, and Bugs Bunny.
But I haven't got a Fricassee and Wabbit's license. Don't go anywhere, Daniel Boob. Wabbit season, duck season, wabbit season, duck season, wabbit season, duck season, fire! You're despicable.
Sylvester's son.
Oh, father, afraid of a mouse. Oh, the shame of it all. It's more than one of my tender years can take.
Bugs Bunny and Beaky Buzzard.
And what's it you're looking for, Doc?
It was don't tell me, it was a rabbit.
All right, Doc, you got me, but you better let me freshen up a bit first, huh? A buzzard is two-faced, a gonial thing that'll lead you to sing.
Dark passenger is like a trapped coal miner, always tapping, always letting me know it's still in there, still alive.
That's our Chad.
Tonight's the night, and it's going to happen again and again.
Not our Chad, more like the devil Chad.
The night when a primal, sacred need calls to me. I've waited. It's time. Hello?
Possible explanation. And the other thing that I remember that I was telling Garrett was that when we were in Vegas, I don't know if you guys knew, but Alex was a massage therapist, and my back was bugging me, and after the trip there in the car, and he said, he's like, I'll just give you a massage and just fix your back. I'm like, okay. So, but for some strange reason, this is really weird. Like, for some strange reason, at the time, of course, I didn't think anything of it, but, now I'm, like, all creeped out about it. He said that we needed to find a Walmart because he wanted to buy this big, huge piece of plastic to put on the bed so the oil didn't get on the bed. But it was one of those ones that you put on the floor when you paint. Okay. And we went to Walmart and we got it and he put it on the bed.
It's where he does the deed.
Yeah. There's your plastic, Zulema.
Yeah, it was the day after we got married.
So you put it on the bed. He gave you the massage. And then what did you do?
The weirdest thing about it was that, and this is when it gets even weirder, because after that I fell asleep. Okay, because I was so relaxed after the massage. I was so relaxed, I fell asleep, and then I remember waking up. I was in and out, and I could hear him talking, and I was like, "Who's he talking to?" And I kept like trying to wake up, and finally I made myself wake up, and I'm like, "Alex," I'm like, "Who are you talking to?" He's like, "Nobody. I was talking to myself." I'm like, "Okay." So then I remember I took a bath, and I said, let's watch a movie. And he was on his phone, I think playing his game or something. And he was like super quiet. It was totally eerie for Alex, because Alex usually he was joking, and he would say something and he would find one way or another to make it into a joke and make it funny, and he was always making you laugh and laughing at himself or making a joke about something, but he said nothing for the rest of the evening. Nothing.
Well, that's really weird.
So maybe I'm just a little too crazy now because of all the stuff that's happened, but in my back of my mind I keep thinking that who was on the phone was Chad and Lori, and that was supposed to be my last day.
Very well could have been.
We begin with some disturbing new details coming to light as investigators continue to figure out what happened to J.J. Vallow and Tylee Ryan. Earlier tonight, police reveal what led them to search Chad Daybell's property last week, where the bodies of the two kids were found. Daybell, he's the husband of the children's mother, Lori Vallow. Our Missy Inglet has been studying these documents that led police to the bodies, and she joins us now live with what police found. Misty?
Gretchen, there are a lot of familiar names in this document besides Chad and Lori's. Alex Cox, Tammy Daybell, Melanie Gibb, all are listed, and each would somehow contribute evidence that would lead investigators to find the kids. Now, an important warning here. Some of this information may be disturbing to some of you. September 8th, 2019, the last time 17-year-old Tylee Ryan is seen. She was on a trip to Yellowstone with her mother, Lori Vallow, and uncle, Alex Cox. A cellular analysis survey team, or CAST, with the FBI analyzed data from Alex's phone. According to the probable cause affidavit, the GPS data points used by CAST are highly accurate, placing a device within 6 meters of its location. On September 9th, one day after the Yellowstone trip, that GPS data puts Alex's phone at Lori's Rexburg apartment between 2:42 a.m. and 3:37 a.m. This is the only time he was at Lori's between midnight and 6 a.m., according to the PCA. A few hours later, 9:21 a.m. until a little after 11 a.m., Alex's phone pings at Chad Daybell's property, specifically placing him behind the home near the barn. Just 14 minutes after Alex leaves, Chad sends a text to his then-wife, Tammy Daybell. The text reads, quote, "I've had an interesting morning. I felt I should burn all the limb debris by the fire pit before it got too soaked by the coming storms. While I did so, I spotted a big raccoon along the fence. I hurried and got my gun, and he was still walking along. I got close enough, one shot did the trick. He's now in our pet cemetery. Fun times." Police state this was suspicious because raccoons are nocturnal. Neighbors of Chad's also reported to police frequent bonfires at Chad's house, which was out of the norm. Fast forward a few weeks to September 22nd, the last time J.J. Vallow was seen. Police interviewed Melanie Gibb and her boyfriend David Warwick, who were visiting Lori that weekend. They told police Lori said J.J. had turned into a zombie. The next morning, September 23rd, between 8 and 9 a.m., Warwick didn't see J.J. and asked where he was. Lori stated he was acting out, so, quote, Alex had come and taken J.J. GPS data once again puts Alex on Chad's property that day from 9:55 a.m. until 10:12 a.m., pinging near the pond. All this evidence started coming to light around the first part of June 2020. Just days later, June 9th, police searched Chad's property. J.J. and Tylee's bodies were found in those areas, near the pond and fire pit. We will not be sharing the gruesome details of the bodies.
Official details are out in the death of Vallow's former husband, while prosecutors are pushing for a sequestered jury for her new husband. News specialist Andrew Adams is live with the latest developments. Andrew?
Well, Deanie, let's start with news surrounding the former husband. The autopsy report is out, and it concludes that Charles Vallow's death was a homicide. You may remember the claims of Lori Vallow's now deceased brother, Alex Cox. He told police he shot Charles Vallow in self-defense back in July of 2019. Well, according to the autopsy report, that wasn't possible. The report says Charles was shot twice, including in the chest, from front to back, in what appeared to be a downward trajectory. Officials say the shot was fired while Vallow was down on the ground, most likely after he was shot in the stomach while upright. Lori Vallow has already been charged with conspiracy to commit murder in that case. According to police, Charles had been planning to confront her about an alleged affair with Chad Daybell. And speaking of the new husband,
with all due respect, everybody, Judge, it's a little bit of grandstanding, it's a little bit of game playing, and I don't appreciate it. So I am vehemently opposed.
Well, terse words from Daybell's lawyer today over prosecutors' motion to sequester jurors from another county to Fremont County for Daybell's trial. It apparently didn't go over well because the defense claims it wasn't given enough time to adequately prepare a response in time for Tuesday's change of venue hearing. The judge decided he'll hear arguments on the new motion, but he said he wanted to look at the costs of bringing in and sequestering a jury, meaning likely putting jurors in a hotel and limiting their outside contacts, as opposed to simply hosting the trial in another county.
This is so crazy. I have a few questions for you guys. Let me see. Do you think that Chad Daybell told Alex that Charles, Tammy, Tylee, JJ, don't forget Joseph Ryan, all went dark? I think he also told them other people went dark too. I think if they wouldn't have been stopped, there would be a lot more murders going on. And I'm wondering, had they pulled this in the past? Was this the first of it, or was this the first of it that they got caught on? Because the way he did this with such ease, like it was nothing, I swear to God, he acted just like Dexter, like it was nothing. It almost seemed like it was a thrill to him. He wasn't bothered by it. That's why I said he scares the boogly boos out of me. This guy is just whack job spooky. And of course, we all know his sister's whack job spooky because she's Lori Vallow. Yeah, let that sink in. Talk about spooky. Okay, guys, that's what I got for today. Let me know what you think. Do you think Alex did this on his own without anybody telling him anything? Or do you think Chad was the puppet master here, the dark passenger? I think he's the dark passenger. I think he told Alex exactly what to do. And I think he got his orders from that whack job god wife of his, Lori Vallow. So I think the chain of command started with Lori, went to Chad, and then they used Alex as the executioner. This is awful. There's a lot more to come of this. But this is what I have for today. Let me know what you think. And thanks for coming and joining me again, you guys. I love you guys. I really appreciate you coming and seeing me again. See you on the next one. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this. Bye for now.